All right, so we are going to now have our speeches. So first we're going to have Asher's best man. So he's already up here, but let's give him a big round of applause. All right, so as loud as you can make it. And here we go.
Hi everyone, my name is Daniel Chu, and I'm Asher's best friend. First off, I just want to thank the Bakers, and I want to thank the Stanleys, and everybody who's helped make this wedding possible. I also want to just bring the best wishes of those who can't be here today, and on behalf of them, just wish you a happy marriage. So, Asher is very special. Very, very, very special. I don't mean unique, I don't mean weird, but I do in fact mean special. He is a mismatched sock-wearing, arm-wrestling champion who sometimes wears dreadlocks, yes, I said dreadlocks, but simultaneously looks like Tom Cruise. He is a singer, a cellist, a songwriter, and, quote, a self-proclaimed dancer, which apparently that paid off tonight. Most importantly, though, he is my best friend. Now, many of us can remember a time in our lives when we needed a best friend. And for me, that time was in middle school. All of us have had that moment in our lives when we feel a little bit lonely, and Asher was that person who came and he helped form who I am today, and I'm very thankful for that. So, Asher is an amazing man. He's talented at everything that he sets his foot on, his hand on, his brain to, anything that he does. And growing up, we always thrived on competition. Whether it was arm wrestling, music, video games, pursuing Jesus, or even grades, Asher always challenged me to be better. There were many times when he would walk into the workout room when we were in high school, and he would literally find the strongest man in the room, challenge them to an arm wrestling competition, half their weight, and he would win every single time. Now, I understand Asher's methodology for being the best. I understand my methodology for trying to be the best. But one thing I have not always understood about Asher is his methodology when it comes to finding his wife. So in middle school, Asher and I played a winter soccer league. One game in particular, Asher was playing very well, quite literally juggling the ball over his opponents, scoring goals, winning tackles, doing everything that you think you would want to do in a soccer game. Our team must have been winning 20-0, and Asher had about 10 of those goals on his own. And naturally, the other team was not very happy with this. We tried our best to let off the gas a little bit, but that made things worse. In fact, the other team was so enraged that they quite literally stormed off the field before halftime came around. There were no repercussions for me, but Asher was classmates with many of these people. In fact, not only were they his classmates, but they were actually all girls. Yes, we were playing in a co-ed soccer team, and Asher just made every single girl on that team extremely mad at him. So you can understand that I didn't always completely comprehend his methodology for things. Months later, we ended up scrimmaging a different girls' soccer team. Neither of us were stoked about that. Well, I had not learned my lesson in the previous situation. Asher had. In fact, anytime he received the soccer ball, he would step on the ball and quite literally sashay to the side, letting the girl run through, score goals, all of those things. I was fuming. I was livid. We had spent every day juggling, working out, running, and he was letting these people just run past him. That was for a moment, until I was laying on the ground, trying to catch my wind after being brutally knocked down by a very pretty girl. Trying not to cry, I contemplated, man, was Asher being a gentleman? Or was he just trying not to end up in that same precarious situation that I found myself? Now, I'm not sure what Asher was doing, but either way, Asher's little stunt afforded him a great reputation as a positive, sweet gentleman amongst all the ladies, middle school and in high school. So you might be very surprised to find out that Asher intentionally did not date when he was in middle school and did not date when he was in high school, and seldom since. He turned down the prettiest girls in school, not an exaggeration, on many occasions, and I was privy to that. He chose to eat with people that looked like him on the inside and not just like he did on the outside. He chose a different path, a path of sacrifice, a path of integrity, a path of character, and a path that is narrow. I used to tell people in high school, my peer pressure melts away when I walk next to Asher. Why would I change who I am to stand next to someone who's less attractive, less talented, less honorable, and less cool than my best friend? So Asher, I think I get it now. I think I understand your methodology for finding your wife. When you turned away from all those other girls, when you turned towards Melody. When you chose a different path, it brought you here, and once you laid your life down, you found it. So well done. He who does a good thing, or he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Now, Melody, he did all these things to love, protect, and care for you well before he knew you. I've seen him in the trenches, fighting for you year after year, day after day, minute after minute. He is relentless, and I can count on one hand the number of men who measure up to the character of your new husband. You are absolutely beautiful inside and out, Melody. Asher has always deserved the best, and I've never known what that woman would look like. But you are exactly what Asher deserves. So will everyone please lift their glasses to the happy couple. May you continue to be amazing, and may your life proceed with the grace and the kindness of the face of God. Cheers. You guys are amazing.
Wow. Oh. Daniel, everyone. Let's give him a round of applause. That was just...
Hi, everyone. I'm Danielle, and so I'm so honored to be here today to celebrate Asher and Melody and just to be your maid of honor. And I just want to share how I met Melody. So I met her about 7 years ago, and actually I've known her for just about as long as I've known my husband. We met at a church event called Gospel House, and we just connected because we were both so into music. They called this event the Christian Coachella when we attended, and we were kind of like, what is this? So we ended up really connecting. Melody and I both loved music. We were dreamers. And we just also had a heart to pursue the Lord in deeper ways. So in my time of knowing Melody, she has always been creative, a dreamer, kind, compassionate, joyful, pure of heart, and most importantly, a genuine lover of Jesus. Something interesting about Melody that my husband and I always laugh about is that she has done so many things in her lifetime that are so interesting. So, for example, she has done professional modeling, as many of you can see just from how gorgeous she looks today. She's studied abroad in Paris. She has lived in LA. She's been in over 25 music videos. And she has been on a couple TV shows, including The Price is Right. I don't know if you've ever seen The Price is Right. She won some cash money on that show. She did a great job. So Melody has had many unique and exciting adventures in her lifetime and accomplishments. But what stands out to me the most as her best friend is her love for Jesus, her wholehearted devotion for him. She's a virtuous woman who seeks God's kingdom and his ways first and foremost. If there was a biblical character to describe Melody, I feel like it would be Mary of Bethany, the woman who wanted to just spend time with Jesus, the woman who took a pound of very expensive ointment, one that would have cost a whole year's wages, and poured it out on Jesus' feet as an act of devotion for him. God has shown such a delight in Melody, and he's brought miraculous favor over her, as we can all see in so many ways that her life has been so blessed, and now with Asher being part of that. And not only is she treasured in the eyes of God, but she was also treasured in the eyes of many others, including many eligible bachelors over the years. So while Asher was pursuing, or not pursuing many girls, many guys were pursuing Melody. But in her pursuit to seek Jesus first, she turned all of them down one by one. She did not have much of an interest in dating. Nick and I had many times where we thought, is Melody ever going to get married? Many people would ask her this question, and she would say, Jesus is my matchmaker. She always put it in God's hands, and she wasn't all that interested until she met Asher. So as Chanel mentioned earlier today, he introduced the two of them, and it was such a striking moment when he realized, you are exactly like my son. You need to meet him. And once they met, the romance began with them playing instruments like the harp, the violin, and the piano, which they actually played in our church group for hours at the end of the group, to where eventually my husband and I had to kindly ask them to go home and get some rest so we could pack up the church and leave. The chemistry was obvious from the very beginning, and they truly did have so much in common, like even liking to act in puppet shows. You guys will have to ask them about that sometime. Maybe you can even see the show they were on. So what's even better is that their personalities complement each other so well. They always build each other up in every circumstance, and they are a beautiful example of what it is to be equally yoked in God and each other. And I am so grateful that this day has come where they will spend the rest of their lives together as one, building a family, a love, and a kingdom purpose together. So I pray that God blesses this marriage, the creativity, the dreams, everything that they pursue together, all the fun adventures, all the things that the Lord has for them. I just pray that he blesses those things, that he fulfills the promises and the dreams that he's put on their heart in Jesus' name. And I just say congratulations to Asher and Melody. And before I close, I want to do one thing that we do in our church as a tradition. So what we do is we raise a hand, and all together, we are going to say, we bless you in the name of Jesus. So I'm going to count to 3, and we're all going to just bless them. Are you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. We bless you in the name of Jesus. Bless you, Melody and Asher. Congratulations. I love you guys, and we will just close with a toast to a happy marriage, a happy life together, and a happy future. We bless you guys.
Well, I didn't know I was going to say anything. Thanks for coming. I appreciate everybody here. You guys are all special to us, and thanks for being a part of our lives and watching us get married. It's very special to us, and I just thank you, everybody, for coming. I do have a poem that I read during our first look. I guess I will read that to Melody in front of you guys. Ow! So I just kind of do this as a joke, but the way I'm going to say this, I go, Melinda, darling, I love you. I love your smile. I love when you belly laugh with your forehead down and your eyes up. I love listening to you sing and worship. I love how pure-hearted you are. I love how sweet you are. I love that there is no one like you. You are special, unique, and outshine the rest. I'm glad that I waited for you. I love when you call me at 2 a.m. looking for comfort, then ask me why I said some random sentence. Because you were mulling over it for like 5 hours. I love how childlike you are. You're so fun and witty. You're so authentic in everything you do. I'm excited to spend the rest of my life with you. You are my first kiss, and you will be my last. I love you, Mel.
Asher knew I was sharing his poem, and he's very competitive, so...
It's just weird for the girl to read a poem about the guy, but the guy doesn't say anything.
So I want to thank my dad for his generosity in giving me such a special day in my life. And thank you to Martha for making him so happy. We love you. We're so grateful. Yes, Dad, thank you. This is like really, really special for me. So thank you for all that you've done to make this possible. I'm so, so blessed. I want to thank my mom for all the beautiful things she was and all the beautiful things she did for me. She loved that song, I Hope You Dance, that says, when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I think Jesus is asking each one of us to dance, to choose life. He came to give us life abundantly. God's heart towards us is to restore. He is a God of restoration. He restores families. He restores lost hopes and dreams. He restores health. And to those who mourn in Zion, God gives a crown of beauty instead of ashes. As we move forward into all the beauty and life and adventure in front of us, it's important to forgive those who have hurt us, because in Jesus, God has forgiven us. As Pastor Mike says, unforgiveness keeps us tied to the past, and it's important to let people off the hook in order to step forward into this new day and into all the good things that God has for us. My hair's like really bothering me. So meeting Asher was the start of a beautiful new chapter in my life. And this day that you are all joining me in is the start of a new chapter, a new life, and a new name. So on that note, I have a poem that really shows my heart to want only what God has for me, that I wrote long before I ever met Asher. I wrote this 2 years before I met Asher. Jesus, the one who is there in my weeping, faithful, when I laugh or cry in the middle of the night, the one who is there in my singing, in my dancing. In sickness or in health, I'm held. In valley or in shadow, in wartime or in battle, who is my life sustainer. I would perish if you didn't hold me up or lift me out, if your hand did not come down every time I cried out. Jesus, the one who delights in you, who shows you how he loves you and then prepares and sends the right one. Ask for the Lord to prepare you and send someone from his hand. Jesus has to have his yes. In Eve's fall, the curse was that your desire will be for your husband and he will lord it over you. But in the Song of Solomon, the bride says, I am my beloved's and his desire is for me. The curse is once again broken as the bridegroom once again pursues the bride. You are so wrapped up in Jesus' heart that the right one will have to be in Jesus' heart to find you. One who pursues you with true beauty, nobility, and stature. A debutante like Asher, one who is so in love with you. And that was the part of the poem with the Asher, but oh, please, daughter, wait. Ask and pray on it. Is this the Son of God for you? Is there love in his eyes? Courage and wisdom to fight for you? Is there Jesus in his eyes when he looks at you? You are a treasure to be won. Please wait and rest and thank God for his faithfulness. You are wonderfully worth fighting for. You are a beauty to behold. And his pursuit or hesitation is not based on the goodness of your creation. It may be a great heartbreak from his youth, or didn't seek God's face to know the truth, to get true fathering from perfect love, to show him what man to become. In perfect love, seek Jesus, and he will win your heart and show you who you are. The lie in the garden that Eve believed is that there is better outside of God. Better outside of God, as if the perfect one would withhold the one who formed you in love and wants the absolute best for your life. Who can know you better than the one who created you? Who knows every gift, every desire, every dream in your heart? He will withhold no good thing. On this day, this poem has been fulfilled. I am so blessed. Asher is so much like me. He compliments me. He is so much like me in every way. He compliments me. I'm so grateful I waited for the Lord to bring the right guy. Asher, I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I love you. Thank you all for being here to celebrate this special day with me. It means so much to me that you guys are here, and I love all of you, and it's just really an honor that you're all here. So we love you, and enjoy the rest of the night.